Hi, how are you?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling mixed emotions. I'm feeling good. I think it's just because of the gummy that I took. Because this has been a messy day.
Messy day. Do you want to tell them why?
Yeah, I think we have to. But first we need to tell them who we are, I think. I'm Jen.
I'm Neal.
We talk about reality TV.
I'm not from Canada.
But we live in Canada because I am from Canada. We've been in a relationship. It was a long distance relationship and now it's not.
But we'll get into that story another time.
I feel like it's relevant for context as part of our introduction.
But the whole story, that gets a whole episode.
Remember how you used to judge whether I was high on how much I explained something
Yes.
or on how funny Mason DeJoa was?
There was something in the last episode we filmed where you really explained something that was very easy to explain.
Someone could look at me and be like, I fully understand what you just said to me, and I will still have to reword it for clarity 2 to 3 more times to follow up.
We want 100% clarity. No, 150% clarity.
I need to know that you understand me, and I need to feel it in my bones.
Yes.
This episode is obviously going to be named Die Skyving.
Yes, because who hasn't gone die skiving?
First of all, she's like, I'm going to go skydiving after this. If I can survive Love Island, I can survive die skying.
Die skiving.
I said it wrong. I ruined the
And this was
quote.
after
Fire
another
me.
good quote already. She is the queen of quotes.
And what did she say to Zach?
She's like, I'm not getting a sugar rush for your word candy anymore.
Amazing. So I take a gummy and Neal doesn't, and we talk about reality TV. That's the point of this podcast.
Yes. And what are we talking about today?
We're talking about the Love Island episode where Sierra goes home.
Who?
Sierra.
They actually let them speak to each other about it for
About her.
30 seconds.
It was one sentence. I saw people online that were like, could you give me the timestamp?
Timestamp.
Oh, no. Timestamp for this? I must have missed it. Because it's legit. Ian comes on at the beginning of a scene and it's like, Sierra left the villa for personal reasons. Oh, my God. Leaving Nick officially single.
Yes.
That's it. The end.
I love how she's leaving for personal reasons, not we have removed her.
Right.
Yes, or has been removed from the villa. I think with the Ulyssa, they just said she left the villa.
They did. They didn't give a reason. For personal reasons is crazy. To me, I think that's
They're going to be
worse.
personal reasons pretty soon when she gets her phone back.
I think removing her, and I said this to you in bed last night, but I haven't said it to the people. I think removing her and not saying why is the worst situation. You have to, yes, you'll get to your point. You have to, leaving her on the show and addressing it would be better than just kicking her off and saying personal reason and then completely glossing over it.
Yeah, I saw a post on Reddit that I was like, okay, that makes sense. Their thing was, I don't think a sexed up dating show as unserious as Love Island is really the appropriate venue during an episode to do that. Save it for the reunion or do like a black screen at the end of an episode, but don't
but they didn't do that. They didn't do a Love Island doesn't tolerate racism.
I think
screen.
They should do that in the reunion.
Because they did a doesn't recognize, stop hating people, and that was protecting their islanders. It was because the cyberbullying was so bad that they said, hey, this is about love. I think a show called Love Island, that's a good point, how unserious the show is, but it's also a show called Love Island.
Yes,
so
no one finding love in this season.
But my point is, shouldn't we be talking about, I saw, and I don't know if this is real, but I saw a DM where someone explained to Sierra why the word was a racial slur. And she's like, oh, I didn't know that. I'm glad I didn't use it that way.
No, don't even. The comments I've seen referring to that. Well, Bella came out today and like lambasted Sierra for using it because she's
Asian American, yes.
And someone was like, okay, I'm Asian American. The way you used it was basically saying your eyes are ugly like an Asian person. Like the context in which you use the slur.
Right, it's like oh gosh, I'm about to tell them my favorite thing to talk about myself. I'm a teacher.
Are you?
In my day job. That's my day job. That's why you're going to get so many podcasts this summer, because I got nothing going on, guys. It's just you, me, Neal, and Love Island. Only for another week, though, which is crazy. But listen.
Well, we got a vacation coming up, so we're going to have to pre-record some stuff.
We'll record on the vacation.
Okay, from our own Love Island.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Fog.
Aaron!
Okay. That's weird because that's my ex-husband's name. Gone. It's gone. Dang
You're a
it.
teacher.
Oh, I'm a teacher. So I can't even say it. Like, it makes bile rise in my throat to say it, but like the R word. Like, to call someone the R word, you can't be like, oh, I just meant it in a funny way. I was just being humorous. No, because the intention behind it is inherently negative.
Right.
Because you're saying it in place of the word stupid.
Yes.
Same thing with calling someone, remember when it was cool to call people gay? That's so gay.
Yes.
You're using the word gay in place of like every other amazing adjective that you could use, but the thing is they're all negative.
Right. Yeah, very true.
So there is no right way to say, and to use a more relatable example, say you were completely ignorant and didn't know the N-word, what it was.
Oh boy.
And you like rapped a song. No, you just said it. You said it because you didn't know. And then someone told you, hey, that's a slur. In what context do you get to say, well, good thing I didn't use it that way? No, writing the word down is the bad part. But like you said, you're exactly right. It was in a negative connotation.
Yes.
The implication is, oh, Asian eyes aren't as beautiful because they aren't wide open.
Right. So.
And did it twice.
Yes, twice.
We don't excuse her. You were very unforgiving to her. I was playing devil's advocate and being like, benefit of the doubt, question mark. I think we're past it. I think she can plead ignorance and I think she will grow from it, but I think you were right to be hard on her. I also think it's fair that her parents came out and said, you know, she's an adult, she's going to grow from this. We're not going to speak for her, but like she hasn't had a chance to come back into the real world yet and learn all of this information. Like, please be kind to her as she steps back into the real world. Because I imagine the hate for her right now, people don't know where to stop with the vitriol.
Oh, yes. It goes way too far. I've seen people say they're calling ICE on her family.
Right?
Which is, like, ridiculous. Yes, the slurs are bad. It's a great learning opportunity for everyone on this show. Yulissa, Sierra, Huda, everybody.
Now, it's tough. Because would I ever, but maybe this is just the millennial in me, my other favorite thing to talk about is our age. Would I ever, like, well, I'm getting off track now because I'm thinking about how I don't post on social media, so like I wouldn't do this inherently, like who I am as a person, but I would never be the person that say tags Maybelline and says you shouldn't work with this girl anymore.
Right.
I'm not that girl, but do I think brands that she works with should be aware?
You have, actions meet consequences.
That's how I feel generally in life. So I know some people think it's too far taking it to, like, quote unquote her employers, but I think
they
that
don't want to be seen with
exactly
like, associating with that.
an influencer.
You
Hello,
find...
it's in the name. You influence people.
Yes,
if companies don't like what you represent, goodbye.
It's not like a super specific thing either. You can find another 1,000 influencers doing the same, looking the same in 2 seconds.
Absolutely. It's not forgiving Jennifer Aniston for something. Like, we're talking A-listers who have made a lot of mistakes and we give a lot of passes to. Like, are you telling me, and I don't care what side you are on with this, don't get started in the comments, don't come for me, I'm not giving a side either, but are you telling me that Johnny Depp should still get hired?
Are you asking me?
Like, in 2025, should he have that many chances?
I mean, he technically won his lawsuit, so...
Damn, straight for the legal side of things is crazy.
If you're a company like Disney who's been pondering this new Pirates movie, you have to just weigh the pros and cons. Do you think... Less people will see the movie if he's not in the movie. Fewer people will see the movie if he's not in it. It will be a flop. So
then just don't make it, period.
But they're a money-making business.
Oh, what you're trying to teach me is that the world is gray.
I'm thinking that because you brought up Jennifer Aniston, this isn't like that. It's not like they can just replace Johnny Depp with... pick
some no name.
Yes, it's just not going to work.
Or even like an equivalent, like you could bring in someone who's also famous but doesn't belong in the Pirates movie and it still flops. I mean, there are times they've replaced big actors with big actors. Come up with an example off the top of your head.
Keanu. They hire Keanu to be the new Johnny Depp in the new Pirates. That's like one of the few scenarios where it could work.
Yeah, actually, I could see it.
Like,
but give me an example. You're so good at this. You have watched every movie that's ever existed. Give me a movie where they replaced not Ed Norton and like you're the Hulk and you're coming in to play the same character. Not like that, but we lost our big draw, so we brought in a different big draw. Like, was Johnny Depp ever not in the Pirates movies?
No. So here's one. It's unfortunate of why it happened, and it completely backfired. After Paul Walker died, they brought in
The Rock, John Cena.
No.
But they did have to lean on other characters more heavily.
But they brought in Scott Eastwood to basically be the new Paul
White guy.
Yes.
Like, all-American man.
People hated his character. He was quickly relegated. He's come back for the latest one for like 2 seconds, but...
That is such a good example. That's an example, where someone... Oh, let's think of an example. I feel like, weirdly, it happens on television.
Yeah.
Because people get more sick of... I feel like actors get more sick of working on the television show they're on. Here, we've talked about Big Bang Theory before, where you wouldn't have been able to do that. You couldn't have done the show without him, and you couldn't have replaced him.
Yeah.
Friends, if any of the six left, you obviously wouldn't have brought in a sixth friend. You would have just done it with 5. I'm thinking of examples like One Tree Hill. Nina Dobrev. She leaves the show before it's over. What do? We just focus on other characters because it's already an ensemble cast.
It was so late. Like, they didn't bring anyone in to even try and replace her. Yeah, they just...
One Tree Hill, Chad Michael Murray, the face of the show, leaves. Hillary Burton.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Morgan, yeah. I guess their last name is Morgan. They leave the show. They're the main couple of the show. Yeah, it's an ensemble cast, but Chad Michael Murray is the face of the show.
Yeah.
They focus on the other characters. They also bring in new characters. We've been watching iZombie. Major from iZombie. He's in that.
Okay.
And so is... Oh, crap. I think his name is Austin. His name might be Austin in real life. He played Deanna's son in The Walking Dead. Really good looking. Like, typical manly man.
Okay.
Was it Deanna's son?
Because he dies, like, right away. Or no, there's multiple. There's Spencer. She has two sons. One dies right away. Then there's Spencer.
Spencer
is the character everyone hated.
Oh, is he hot?
I think they would both be considered good looking.
Okay, I think that's who it is. Did he wear they really dressed him in oh, you're not gonna know. I'm trying to make you picture him. Did he have curly dark hair?
I don't think so.
Oh, man.
I don't think either of them did.
Just short? Oh, man. Julian? Austin?
I don't remember.
I think his name is Julian in One Tree Hill. So I think his name is Austin in real life, maybe? Or he was Austin on the show. I think he was Deanna's son. Anyway, no one watches The Walking Dead. Oh, could you replace Rick on The Walking Dead?
Austin Nichols. That was Spencer.
Yeah, he's hot. He was on One Tree Hill. They brought him in.
Oh, God, was his character annoying in Walking Dead?
Yes, right, because they're all self-righteous, because they think they're all the leaders.
He gets killed by Negan.
Yeah.
Oh, you do have guts. As they're on the street, yes.
I think they ruined the show. You are seriously... You need to get yourself under control.
They ruined The Walking Dead.
When they killed Carl.
Oh, everyone would say that, yeah. But
really? Even though he was so annoying and such a hated character? Kids on survival shows are so hated. Because, you're whiny and annoying.
No one knows why he was killed off. He still doesn't know. The actor, and they didn't really give a reason. He wasn't a substitute death for anybody else.
Didn't he, move... wasn't he, living in Georgia? Was gonna go to a school in Georgia?
Yeah, I think...
his whole life was there.
Yeah, and they just didn't give him an explanation.
That actually kind of makes me want to cry. Because this could be... If he loves that franchise, that could have been his life.
Yeah.
They could have had a spin-off with him into adulthood.
And then, Rick's gone. You're not going to want...
And by the way, he lives in the comics, right? Carl. Mm-hmm. So it's, completely off script to kill him. It was just for
So Rick dies in the comics.
Rick dies in the comics.
And he, I'm pretty sure, takes over for Rick. So
is that the implication that because, oh my gosh, what's his name?
Andrew Lincoln.
Is still willing to do this. Andrew Lincoln is a bigger pull than Carl. So if we're not going to kill Rick, we have to kill Carl. They are
He was...
face of the show, they're the heart of the show.
He was the heart. He literally once, because
people would have stopped watching if Rick died.
Yes, but then
then he left.
Lincoln left anyway. So
Carl would have stayed.
Yes,
but you would have had people with pitchforks.
I mean,
so again, mad if you killed Rick.
We keep bringing this up. The showrunners. You had a different showrunner every couple seasons. Probably almost every season in The Walking Dead. After the first 2 seasons were phenomenal. I thought the first 3 with the governor were good.
We do talk about this all the time.
And
so often that's why it's so connected because we're talking about actors leaving.
Well,
so often it's because we've talked about showrunners want to go on and do something new. Well, same with actors. I mean, Ellen Pompeo, she gave her entire middle adult years 20 years to a TV show. She's entitled to go elsewhere, just as they're entitled to try and keep the heart of Grey's Anatomy pumping without her.
Right. And then, getting back, we learn why this season of Love Island stinks, because they're one of their top, or the top producer for season 6, the most successful season, got poached by a media company before this season.
Which, if you give me a better offer, I'm gone. Love Island isn't my baby. But here's my argument. Something like Walking Dead. Walking Dead is my baby. Between the original writers and showrunners and, what's his name? Kirkman. Mm-hmm. He's the comic book guy, right?
Yeah.
They should have... And I mean, maybe they did. I haven't sat in with meetings with them. But to me, you plan out the whole story arc. Well, I mean, you have because you have comics. You know he has an idea of where the story is going. So at no point, as the people who founded this show and picture it going a certain way, don't you write down the cans and cannots? Like, at no point can you kill Daryl.
Right.
At no point can you kill blank. At no point...
Which is funny, because Daryl isn't even a character in the comics.
Right. And I bought a shirt from Hot Topic to wear to Universal Halloween Horror Nights that said, if Daryl dies, we riot. Like, that was a thing back in the early 2010s.
We have a good example of this is from... The creators have a 5-season arc. They're most likely going to get 5 seasons because it's MGM Plus's only show that's successful. And they do everything except direct, which they reuse the same 3 to 4 directors for each of the 8 episodes. So,
but if you get people that you're good with working with, director is something you can switch up.
Yes.
A director, don't get me wrong, a director is a storyteller. Absolutely. It can make or break a movie.
Yes.
But, like, the writers are more important.
Oh, definitely.
You don't have a story without the writers.
The showrunner to guide the story and the writers, so...
Everyone who sits in that room together, you need all of them for different reasons, and it needs to be consistent, and it needs to be the people who started it and cared and had the vision.
Well, and that's what I'm worried about. I'm going to be controversial. I'm excited to watch the new Harry Potter show. I don't agree with J.K. Rowling's views. She doesn't seem to be very involved in it. She knows what's going on behind the scenes, but I don't think she's influencing anything.
Well, obviously not.
Oh, why?
Because she's a piece of shit.
Oh, yes.
And there are, like, Snape is black.
Well, yeah.
I'm not saying she's racist, but I'm saying she wouldn't have cast a black man as Snape.
Yeah, but...
She obviously doesn't have much control. I'm trying to justify it. Here's the thing. You could have a philosophical conversation all night, a morally gray, black and white conversation about consuming the media of shitty people.
Yes.
Neil Gaiman, they did the right thing. They canceled The Sandman. Does that mean automatically we shouldn't watch it? That makes my tummy hurt.
It's a controversial topic. I don't agree with J.K. Rowling. I loved Harry Potter. I grew up with Harry Potter.
And I mean, not just like a little bit, like, I'm going to cry talking about it. But our first Christmas together, we went to a light display, and they had, like, you can tune into this radio station and it'll play songs. And it played one of the Christmas instrumentals from one of the Harry Potter movies. And it was Christmas time. And there were, like, lights, and it was nighttime, and, like, it was beautiful. Yeah. So, like, even our relationship has, special Harry Potter moments. Oh, my gosh, I'm, emotional.
If I could, I would make it so that she couldn't profit a dime on it anymore.
Exactly.
At all.
Like, right now, if you bought Neal's last used car, she was on her last leg, so if someone's still driving her out there, you shouldn't be. If you tried to get the CD out of the CD player right now, it would be a Harry Potter CD. Like, that's entirely instrumental. He just drives in his car and listens to orchestral music.
He's
the most beautiful human I've ever met.
But my worry is, and this sort of happened with the movies.
Oh yeah, we got totally off track.
They're going to do 8 seasons because there's 8... Well, no. There's going to be 7 seasons because there are 7 books.
But there are 8 movies, so...
Right. I don't know what they might split the last season.
I don't think that'd be necessary. Right. I think one season... Because... I know you haven't gotten to your point. But there aren't rules anymore.
Right, yes.
If HBO wants season 7 to be hour-and-a-half episodes, then it'll be hour-and-a-half episodes. You make the episodes as long as you need to, like Stranger Things.
The head of Warner Bros. Discovery is putting everything into Harry Potter because it's one of their few money makers now. But I'm just worried you have 7, maybe 8 seasons. If they, if the first season does so well, second season does so well, then you're going to lose half your writing team who are going to go work on other things because they're going to get a huge raise.
Yeah.
Showrunners are going to leave to go start their own thing, maybe a spin-off of in Harry Potter world. It's
Okay, but didn't that happen with the movies?
well that they didn't. I think they made a point that they weren't going to reuse directors after Christopher Columbus did one and he did two, and he was like the second one. It was just like I was exhausted. Then they got like
So
this.
you're not going to be able to find someone who's going to stick to all of it. And then if you have too many, if you have like 3 in a row that are by the same person, the fourth one is going to bomb because it's going to be so tonally different.
They get Alfonso Cuarón to do the third one, and he's like this renowned director. I think they did actually want him back for the fourth, but he was like, nah. Then they bring in...
Oh, gosh, interesting.
They bring in the dude that directed the fourth one who said, I didn't even read the books when I made the movie, which is why I think it's the worst movie.
And should have been the best movie.
Honestly, if you're going to make one of the seasons 2 parts, it probably should be the fourth.
Yes, actually.
And then David Heyman directed all the rest of them. So they did end up going that route.
Actually, you could do that, though. Okay. Warner Brothers, if you're listening, I don't know how much of a plan you guys have. They should film the first 3 seasons at the same time.
I bet they'll do the first 2.
I think up it, do first 3. You know you're getting all 7 or 8 seasons, whatever it is. Well, 8, as I'm proposing. Hear me out. 1, 2, and 3, film them all now so the kids look the same age.
Yes.
After it's come out and the kids have grown a little bit, because Order of the Phoenix, number 4, is the first, like...
That's Goblet of Fire.
I'm thinking 4. I'm thinking Goblet of Fire. I just didn't say Goblet of Fire.
Yes.
No, Order of the Phoenix. We're long gone in Order of the Phoenix. We're all depressed by Order of the Phoenix. What's it called? Goblet of Fire. Why can't I remember that?
Because it was the worst movie.
Bring the kids back when they look a little bit older. Film 2 seasons of Goblet of Fire back to back, but release them year to year. Like, make that 2 years of your life. Then just do a normal filming schedule, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7.
Yeah, well...
You're totally right. Make number 4 2 seasons.
I'm worried because if anyone's watched the new Percy Jackson series, the first season took so long to film. His voice was cracking in the middle of the first season. And now
casting kids is so hard,
and
man.
now the second season isn't even out yet. It comes out, I think, the end of the summer.
But I think I just cracked it.
You have to film seasons and batches with kids. You do.
You have to. But for something like Harry Potter, you have to do it right because the tone shifts from a children's movie to a dark teen adult
that's
movie.
The third one is when it really shifts.
To dark. It's like physically dark. I mean, my mom went to see it in theaters without me, weirdly. She was also a teacher, and she took her kids to see Harry Potter. And she's like, the garbage bags, the garbage bag man, talking about the Dementors. So, like, she was actually not impressed with the filmography of that one.
But we'll see. You gotta... Consistency is key, and not taking 4 years between seasons, which I feel like every big show is doing now, and it's just...
But if you give yourself a 3-year buffer, you can do that. Like, if they film 3 seasons now...
You can't do that. No, I think... Look at Stranger Things. I think the hype around Stranger Things is gone. I think if this weren't the final season...
No one would care.
It would get canceled after. Because it's been so... long since season 4 came out.
Controversial. You know what else I don't care about?
What?
The Bear.
Yes,
I know you still care because, like, Chicago.
But
and
that's
you love food shows.
That's even more mind blowing because there's no CGI. They're 25, 30-minute episodes. You have 8 episodes a season. Like, why does it take 3 years to film?
No, if you're going to be 22 minutes long, I need to have, like, 30 episodes in a season. Yeah, sorry.
It's a cooking show. I get it's probably hard to get all the actors, especially with Jeremy Allen White now being in major movies, but...
Well, more like everybody being in major movies.
if you can get Will Poulter for every season now, you can do it in less than 3 years. Like, come on.
Yeah.
3 years to then watch. It's worse than a movie. Like, what's 4-hour movie. It takes 3 years to make.
And, like, it's hard to get me... Like, I feel like White Lotus, we haven't gotten into the new season either because it had been so long. I enjoyed the ones we watched, but we're so far removed from that enjoyment that I'm not like, oh my gosh, I gotta watch the next one. Even though I know when I sit down to watch it, I'll really like it.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoyed those seasons. And it should be easier because it's more anthology based, right? Like, we get new characters every season. I love that. You hate that, which is weird because you're a movie person, so you should be fine with letting characters go. You don't get interested enough. Like, you don't like American Horror Stories.
I don't.
To me, a 50-minute horror movie, that's like a 2-sentence horror story. I love it. I love something brief. The Into the Dark movies, an 1.5-hour horror movie. Actually, you know what? I'm going to be a little bit spicy. Give me 1 hour and 29 minutes. Under 1.5 hours.
So, like, the Cursed movie.
Yeah, you know what?
That's a perfect movie.
That's a perfect example of, oh my gosh, I am rolling on the floor laughing. Raffle.
Well, I mean, I like... No, I have no desire to watch the new White Lotus. I really don't.
See? I knew. But you weren't into it as I was while watching it, I don't think. Guys, they canceled The Residents.
That was shocking. It was in the top 10 for a long time. There must have been a reason.
Cost?
Maybe.
They don't have any money. I don't know how they're paying the salaries of these people. Netflix doesn't have liquid money. Most of these streaming services don't.
Like, they keep releasing bomb after bomb for movies.
Isn't that crazy? And paying, like...
Chris Pratt.
What?
The Rock.
Oh my gosh. How?
I don't get it. And I mean, they've stopped making, like, original movie content now, I feel like. So they really...
But what do you mean? You just said that they're coming out with movies.
Well, those are the ones that are already out. I mean, like, the Chris Pratt one bombed. The Electric State or whatever.
Oh, yeah, like they're just going to stop because
Red
it's
One,
going so bad.
Or whatever it was called. With Ryan Reynolds and The Rock. The Thief. That one bombed.
Oh, yeah.
No,
that wasn't a Netflix movie. Red One was that Christmas movie.
Oh, right. Well, whatever the Netflix
yeah,
one
I know. We haven't watched it, right?
No, well, it's got Gal Gadot as, like, the villain.
I can't.
Yeah.
You know what was actually a good movie, though? Baywatch.
That was a funny movie.
It was a good time.
But the only problem I have is the first 35 minutes, there's no humor. And then, and the characters are smart. And then, like, halfway through the movie, everyone is a complete idiot. It was such a weird...
It's so perfect. I mean, what more, how much more entertained do you need to be? Are you not entertained?
I will watch that again any day.
I would too.
But especially between...
But you know what? You think Alexandra Daddario is really hot. Look at, he's so exasperated with me
I
wasn't
already. Even... I was going to give an example that wasn't even that. It's when The Rock and... not Dylan Efron. Zac Efron.
Dang! Now you getting him confused with Dylan when I called Dylan Zac Efron's brother the whole season.
When they interact with Abdul the cop. It's just like... that's a good quality movie.
There are actually funny moments. Also, can we take this moment to talk about how evil it is that people are sending around that picture of Zac Efron all, like, looking like he's 45 with his slicked back hair in Cuba? Oh, is that racist to say he looks like he's from Cuba? Just because he's really tanned and has his hair done.
About.
Have you seen it? It's like major plastic surgery face. So, like, his lips are ballooned up. His cheeks look like they have filter
Is this
in
a
it.
recent picture?
Well, that's what everyone was sharing as if it was. And then people who are defending him are saying, hey, like, he had jaw surgery. Like, that's why his face looked different
That
for a
was
while.
years ago.
And then others are arguing, hey, that was years ago.
Because I saw something recent, like an interview with him, and he looked like his like High School Musical self.
Yes.
So I don't know.
I follow Dylan because of the Traders on Instagram, and Dylan has been posting like they were together for the 4th of July. They were together for their dad's like birthday. He looks, I would argue, probably better than ever.
Yeah, I don't.
So
I think that
shame on
because there is
the AI, but I don't think, like, this picture that's going around, even when he was on his steroids and whatever he was post-surgery, I don't think he ever actually looked like this.
Okay.
This is someone's really mean AI work.
Yeah, probably. AI is crazy now.
I would like to use our Instagram to post pictures and stuff. Maybe pictures of our cats, though, because, like, I don't want to show you the picture of Zac Efron I'm talking about if you haven't seen it, because I don't want to be one of the people that is sending it around the internet.
Right. I wouldn't do that.
No. But it's mean, and he looks totally fine.
Yes. But Love Island.
Yeah, so, guys.
Sierra got the boot.
See you later.
And we've already got, Scheming and
Nicolandria.
Nicolandria.
He's not interested in her. I think he thinks she's attractive. I think he thinks she's attractive. I don't think she's into him, not one bit. I saw more sparks between the conversation Olandria and Zach just had. I thought they were a good, mature match for each other from the beginning. Mature but can pop off, because we saw her pop off and we saw Zach pop off. So I think they are very alike in that they're strong because they have to be, but just because you're strong doesn't mean you're always right.
That's true, yeah.
Like, Olandria has been wrong. She's made some wrong choices. Zach has been wrong. I think they're a good match. That being said, by the end of the conversation, I'm like, damn, I don't think she's into him either. There's more chemistry. It makes more sense. I like it better to listen to it. But it's not going to be a thing. I
think Nicolandria is next level. Nicandria, whatever you want to say.
You say Nicandria. The internet does not agree with you. They say Nicolandria.
Like, if he really wanted to be with Sierra, he just would have left with her, so...
Right?
He doesn't.
And so, like, these conversations are striking me as really strange. Olandria has a conversation with him about how she's going to be here for him no matter what. He finds a way to still bring up his attraction to her because dude is still trying to win the game. But, like, producers must have told him, like, hey, she's going home because she said rape.
I don't think they would.
You don't think?
I don't think so. I don't think any of them know. I think they're... Like, something must
But to me, he's not acting sad enough, and the girls aren't acting sad enough. So to me, it was like a producer's finger in your face saying, don't talk about it.
I don't think so. I think...
You think they were allowed to talk about it, they're just not showing us?
I don't think they were told what...
Well, why isn't Amaya crying? Because Sierra's not a good person?
I think, along with everyone else on Reddit... She was a dark cloud. I do. I think she was a dark cloud.
That people didn't like her.
That either people didn't like or she just brought the island down and
was
now...
she the head of the Mean Girls? Did she
Maybe.
bring the Mean Girl out of people?
Maybe.
Those snide looks? I don't know, man.
Again, I going on zero sleep every day might have affected her and just... made everyone want to grump with her. I don't know. And now she's gone and everybody's spirits have lifted.
That's a lot of purporting.
Maybe. I don't know. But
is that a word?
I don't think they would tell him why.
Well, then they're not acting sad enough to me.
I told you, Nick does not want to be with her.
But then you at least pretend to be sad.
He was sad for their little powwow. Again, we probably saw 2 minutes.
I know. You guys, that's how you bring this show back from the dead next year.
Yeah.
Live feeds.
Because we don't know when she was removed.
Oh my gosh, but we'd see so many.
Yeah.
Titties. There'd be so many flashes.
You'd have to do only outdoors.
No, but I mean, even outdoors, they're in bikinis all day. You're telling me they don't have to edit around moments where someone's, like, swimsuit is pushed to the side and there's a nipple gate or there's a... You know they're having to edit around that all the time.
True.
So, like, would you have to have people sign up and sign a waiver that says it's okay if I get exposed? People have probably seen people's naked parts on Big Brother. I brought it up before. People have watched people have sex live on Big Brother's live feeds. You sign a consent form to say you know you're on camera. This isn't any different. There's just less clothes.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think
FCC
you should hire
won't
me.
Let me be.
Hello, we're on Peacock. We can do what we want. Can they say fuck? They can, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, we don't do what you tell us. Guys, listen to Rage Against the Machine if you haven't, honestly. If you're just mad, Rage Against the Machine. We're gonna go finish the episode and then we'll be back. I hope you guys have stuck with us so far. If you have, please like us, rate us, subscribe us, share us, comment. Comments really mean a lot because we love hearing from you. And we'll be right back. There better be snacks in it for me after this.
What?
We finished the episode. It was a recoupling where the girls chose. Obviously, they were hearing everyone banging on the gate saying, the girls have had no power this whole season.
Yeah, and there's actually some decisions.
No,
I mean, Alandria did pick Nick, and she repeatedly said, maybe it was Nick the whole time. Maybe it was Nick the whole time.
Trying to force it.
And
their conversations together are so uncomfortable. And literally, they're basically saying to each other, hey, let's ride this out to the end. Like, they're saying that, blatantly.
Amaya Papaya chose between Zach, Alon, and Brian, and ended...
Really, it was only between Zach and Brian.
She picked Brian, so Brian Maya, or Brumaya?
Maya. I like them.
He gets her.
And what I loved is that he said, I'm the safe space for her, but it's crazy that she's that for me too. I hope he means that. And if he means that, then that's a relationship. Okay, I think this is also why we care about last season's people, is that there are actually a couple real relationships out of it.
But there's voting, and the bottom couples are going home on Tuesday's episode.
Well, it's that point in the season where they're only keeping the people now who, like, basically at this point in the season, they send you on dates where you're, like, supposed to bang and talk about the future, a la fantasy suites in The Bachelor. Like, they don't keep you at this point if you don't have a chance of winning, so they should be getting down to their final four.
Is this where the voting manipulation happens?
What do you mean?
Like, people don't like Ace and Shelley. They don't like Taylor and Clark. Like...
So then they go, and then the only couples we have left are people who have coupled up in the past, 5 days.
Right, so what happens? Are they just going to rig the voting to get rid of the new couples and then keep... Our decision's going to be...
Well, to me, the producers keep Ace and Shelley no matter what.
Okay.
For this, I think if it's up to America to vote for the winner, they wouldn't rig it for them to win. I think they would rig it to keep them for the top 4.
Okay, that's fair.
Just to see if they could win. Which, I mean, if they could win, then they wouldn't be at risk of going home. But anyway. I don't think they do that for anyone else. I don't think they do that for Clark and Taylor. I don't think they have to do it for Nicolandria. What'd they call it? No. Nilandria, yeah. They really put it together weird.
I mean, Amaya and Brian will probably be first, because everyone's going to vote for Amaya.
Well, they can't, they're only going to have to be able to reveal the bottom. If they reveal the top, they basically reveal the winner.
Yeah. So, I mean, Iris and Pepe, people love Pepe, so...
He's a cool dude.
I can see them getting a ton of votes. So if those are the two couples that get a ton of votes, then you're probably going to lose one of the long-standing
Well,
ones.
that's what people are saying. People were like, because people were mad at some of the 5 people who went home. You know, like the Austins and the Jadens of it all. But someone was like, you were voting for your favorite. Are any of these 5 your favorite? You weren't ranking them best to least. You weren't voting for your least favorite. Right. You voted for your favorite, and these 5 people just didn't have people who voted for them.
Right.
You know, like, I'm not voting for Taylor, even if I don't like what he did to Alandria. I'm not voting for him just as much as I'm not voting for Ace or someone else who is safe. So if, like, neither of them are getting my vote.
Okay, so if everyone votes for Maya, then pretty much everyone else is going to be safe, except for, I don't know, Huda and Chris. People like Chris.
No, I've seen people are voting for Huda and Chris. I think she has the OG power of she's been there from the beginning, so she's collected fans along the way like a Monopoly board.
Well, I could see her if they do rig it and they get rid of Amaya and Brian and...
They would never.
Pepe Iyer. So if it's like, if the bottom or the top 3 end up being Huda, Chris, Shelly, Ace, Taylor, Clark.
It's going to be Amaya, Brian.
Okay, well, say they're not there. I think Huda and Chris would win over Ace and Shelly.
Oh, I think they would too, based on what I see from social media. Based on me watching it, they've won me over as a couple. Yeah. I think they have really good, here I'm going to be a Canadian and do it. They have good banter. They do. And so, like, that makes a friendship, which we did call it the hypocrisy of Huda being like, I like, you know, it's good to start out as friends. I like to start out as friends in a relationship. It's like Jeremiah sat you down and was like, can we rewind, please? Can we just be friends and start and build a foundation from there? Nah, she was right to go crazy on that, though. Now I'm really a Huda apologist. But, like, you can't bang her and then be like, hey, let's try to be friends.
That's totally fair. I forgot about that. So
that they bang. Thank you. Takes 2 to tango. Hey, you think I made a good point.
You made a great point.
Thank you, my love.
Do you think Tasty Balls is going to win?
I cannot believe you just said that word out loud. We are watching reruns on mute of the Great Food Truck Race. It is a food truck competition show on Food Network. It's so good. We've watched most of the seasons. The host is so good. He's like a chef. His name is Tyler, and he's awesome.
But we can't find the newest season.
But I hate the T word.
I know, but that's the name of it.
But I can't believe you just said that out loud for my ears to have to listen to.
I apologize.
Thank you. I blame Fergie. Because she spells it wrong in her song.
Metro Chili.
So I think Amaya and Brian, Huda and Chris, and Nick and Alandria are the top 3.
I would agree.
And then I think Ace and Shell, but dang, people really voted them down in the genuine thing. People just really ignored them as far as voting goes. But they also hate
Taylor and Clark. So if it's between those 2...
Oh, Taylor and Clark are definitely in the bottom. Even though I think they've risen these past couple episodes, they're still not anyone's favorite. Again, they're no one's favorite.
Right.
You can do all the breakfast picnics you want. Ace was the star of that. That made me want to vote for Ace more, but I can't because I just feel like they're faking it so much.
Faking it till they make it. Oh, you know, as soon as the season's over and they don't win, they're done.
Oh my gosh, yes, they're not. No. None of these couples. I don't know. Do you think...
No.
Do you think Peppa
Pig and Iris.
Do you think Pepe... No, I was going to say Pepe and Hannah get back together. Here's my thing. Unless... She was going to leave. No, Iris was going to leave for TJ is the word on the street.
Who lives super close to him? Was that Hannah?
I don't know.
none of these people are going to work unless they live in the same place.
Which is so crazy because that's coming from, I think it's also a different stage of their life. They're in like their early 20s, but that's coming from someone who moved not across the country to a different country to live with his partner.
Right, but
you're like, these people won't move states, and you're so right. Yeah. Like, people on these dating shows take distance as such a barrier.
I think last season is different because the connections were so strong.
And they also got so famous that they probably all just moved to LA anyway.
Right. I don't think... Like, Taylor doesn't remind me of someone that's going to move to LA. He's going to stay in...
Absolutely, 100%.
And you got Pepe who does sports, Chris who does sports. Like, they're not just going to live in LA and definitely not going to be influencers.
But even if they were going to be influencers, they'd do it while still playing basketball because they love it. They're going to still go do their sport.
Yeah, so...
Where it's, first of all, cheaper to live in Europe.
Oh, you know what's crazy? My second cousin...
Okay.
I gotta think.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. So she and her husband, she's a retired teacher.
Okay. Hello, come on. Is this a business idea?
No.
Moving idea?
They lived in California. They moved a week or two ago to Nevada. She just posted her electric bill. She was paying around $800 for heating and electric in California.
In California? Oh, because your AC bill is so high and because it costs so much to live just in general.
Yes, and they have monopolies, much like ComEd. And so they moved to Nevada, and she put her projected, from what her usage has been so far, for the month from like July 8th to August 8th. And it was like $112.
And in Nevada, in the summer, which that's the desert. Now, the only thing is, does it get cold at night?
Oh, probably.
Because, like, California doesn't really. But, like, hello?
That's crazy. Like, you're saving just right off the bat $600-$700.
Just living. I know, that's crazy. We need to look into the cost of living. Like, when I look at houses somewhere and it looks like... Look, did you see the Trader Joe's bag? I would like to live near a Trader Joe's.
This is in Alaska, so they must have one in Alaska, or they've been to one outside of Alaska.
I think I could handle the Alaskan weather. No. B, I'm pretty sure,
oh my gosh, that looks good.
Olivia from The Challenge, I think she lives in Alaska and, like, hasn't moved. Like, that's where she's from.
Right.
Well, maybe they live in LA. So she's pregnant. She and Theo just announced it. Here's the thing. He has a kid in the UK. So he's moving to the US to be with Olivia and their baby.
How old is the kid?
I don't know. I just hate situations like that.
Well, he's got a new kid coming. So
don't. Oh my gosh. It makes me so sad.
I mean, he's going to have to pay child support. That's just, And because he's never going to see the kid, he's going to have to put more money up to make up for it.
Is that how it works?
No. I mean, maybe in the UK, but I feel like...
You're supposed to know these things.
In the UK?
No, in general.
Maybe they do some crazy system. I don't know. Is the divorce rate high in the UK?
Probably not. There are way more of them grinning and bearing it. Sticking it out.
Yeah, well...
That's the way. I'm from a very traditional place where it's like, it's just easier to stay married. That's sad. We're not married. We don't plan to get married. I don't plan to get married.
She says this, and then she's like, where's my ring? So...
I said I wouldn't get married... Not that I wouldn't wear an engagement ring for the rest of my life. I will commit myself to you with jewelry.
Fair, okay.
Just not under the eyes of the Lord or the legal system. Amen.
Amen.
Much like, to wrap it all up, none of these Love Island couples are ever going to marry each other.
Still donate the one. Either give it to Amaya, only Amaya, or donate it.
Yeah, just give the whole check to Amaya. That's it. That's the answer. Okay, guys, thanks for listening. We love you as always. We'll see you next time.
Peace.